We're following the latest on the protests at the ICE facility in South Portland as troops could be deployed to the area as soon as this weekend. It was an active scene overnight. We did see some arrests at the facility. Police say they made 2 arrests last night. Officers were called to help clear traffic in the surrounding neighborhood as drivers reported having to swerve around demonstrators in the street. Police used a loudspeaker to tell people to clear the area, and all but 2 people followed the request. Police say those 2 men were seen being aggressive toward each other. Officers arrested Thomas Allen and Cortez Williams on charges of second-degree disorderly conduct. Police confiscated this can of chemical spray and collapsible metal baton from Allen. All this as we wait for a judge to decide whether National Guard troops can legally be deployed to Portland. There's also controversy over arrests made Thursday night. The mounting tensions are not just between protesters and federal agents. Fox 12's Michaela Armstrong spoke to demonstrators on both sides of the issue and reports from South Portland.
Things near the ICE facility can change in an instant. But some of the worst moments, according to some demonstrators, happening at night. One moment from Thursday night caught on camera. Leilani Payne says she was the one pepper sprayed in the video by ICE agents.
They asked me to step back, and I believe there was other protesters behind me, so I raised my hands in the air and I said, I'm standing exactly where you told me to. And they maced me in the face for 3 seconds straight without warning. I had no idea he even had a canister.
Payne says after that, she was in immense pain.
It was not emotion, it was pure pain and distress. No, I don't think there was any emotion. It was just, I needed help, and I was getting very lightheaded, and I was very, very scared.
Friday, we watched an arrest take place, and while held down by agents, the individual was continually pepper sprayed. Bennett Hazelton, who recorded the video of what happened to Payne on Thursday, says this is why he drove down from Seattle to show what is really happening to demonstrators.
Everybody watching was so surprised that this did happen. That's the reason we're all recording all the time, because you never know when somebody is going to do something insane like that.
However, some on the other side of this issue say left-wing protesters, not federal agents, are the problem.
They will attack you, and I've been physically attacked multiple times.
Independent journalist C.K. Boufarage says she was recently attacked by a demonstrator.
I was live streaming over right off of federal property, and a man who was standing over here ran at me, ran right up to me while I was on the live and grabbed, have your mic, grabbed my phone and my arm. As I broke free, he covered me in bear spray.
She says the worst time near the facility is from 10:30 p.m. to around 2 a.m. And she was able to see for herself Thursday night from the roof of the ICE facility.
I'm seeing fights. I'm seeing them going after the officers physically. I've seen them throw things at the officers.
But Hazelton, who is also there recording, says the opposite.
As often as not, it is the ICE agents ratcheting things up, starting with the violence, and it's the protesters often showing insane levels of restraint and in the face of being attacked by the agents.
Michaela Armstrong, Good Day, Oregon.
A popular conservative influencer was among those arrested in front of the ICE building Thursday night by Portland police. That arrest led to U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi to launch a federal investigation into the Portland Police Bureau. Police arrested 27-year-old Nick Sorter on suspicion of disorderly conduct. PPB officers say they saw him shine a bright light in several people's faces, trying to get a negative response from them. They say that's when a group surrounded him and tried to hit him and his camera with an umbrella and chased him swinging a large stick. They say 49-year-old Angela Davis is the person who chased him, and she faces a disorderly conduct charge. Sorter describes himself as being attacked, and once he got away, he says he went to police for help but was instead arrested.
They start hitting me personally. They start hitting my gear. And then I ended up down in a recessed flower pit, surrounded by people that were trying to jump on top of me. And I got up and was able to get away. And that's when I went over to the police officers, which I thought, maybe they'd help me. But no, instead they threw me in handcuffs.
Friday, the Justice Department sent a letter to the city and police bureau requesting all body cam footage from the arrest to review. They also asked for documents related to the arrest, claiming PPB may be policing based on viewpoint discrimination. Police Chief Bob Day said there is no political bias in their enforcement and that Sorter was arrested on probable cause. Here's some of what Chief Day said.
Portland Police Bureau is committed to the rule of law, which is applicable to all of us, regardless of our political affiliation, our gender, our age, our race, our economic status, or our political leaning. It doesn't matter. The high degree of visibility around the activity in the South Waterfront has brought in a variety of points of view. I mean, the amount of dissidence that's being expressed down there, not even directed at immigration or at the facility, but the amount of dissonance being expressed towards one another is at a fevered pitch. And that's where we need to start bringing the temperature down.
The DOJ letter also asked for material related to conservative journalist Katie Davis-Court, who was assaulted earlier this week near the ICE facility. Police are searching for a suspect in that case. The district attorney's office says they are reviewing Soder's case and will make a decision on charges before his scheduled arraignment Monday. The argument whether to allow National Guard troops to deploy to Portland was heard in court yesterday, and this morning we are waiting on a decision from the judge. Fox 12's Ezra Kaplan breaks down what happened in the courtroom.
Judge Karen Immergut began by questioning the Trump administration lawyers about the timeliness of the deployment order. She said that their justifications primarily focused on a memo sent by the Department of Defense on June 6th. Immergut said, can the president rely on old news, so to speak, to issue an order deploying the Guard at the end of September? Eric Hamilton was the attorney representing the government and pointed to a series of posts by President Trump over the weekend as articulating the current need. The judge cut in and said, really? A social media post is going to count as a presidential determination that he can send the National Guard to cities? Is that really what we are saying here? Without directly answering, Hamilton explained that it was the administration's belief that there is at least a danger of rebellion. Upon questioning from the judge, Hamilton could not point to a historical analog of a rebellion being declared in a situation similar to the one here in Portland. The other line of argument centered around the claim that federal officers are unable to do their jobs because of the protesters. Scott Kennedy, the lead attorney for Oregon and Portland, said that the record doesn't line up with the claims. He said that there have been sporadic instances of conflict, but most were more than 90 days ago, and more recently, they have been quickly dealt with. Kennedy pointed to records of communication over the past few weeks between PPP leadership and the Federal Protective Services, where Federal Protective Services repeatedly said no assistance was needed. Hamilton pushed back, explaining that DHS had to bring in over 100 officers from other areas to help protect the building 24/7. He again alleged that there was a threat of a rebellion, stating, over the past months, vicious and cruel radicals have laid siege to the ICE facility in Portland. That, along with claims of assault and doxing, constituted much more than minimal interference, Hamilton said. Finally, Kennedy stated in his argument that the government seeks a 60-day deployment, but they are basing it primarily on events that happened 90 days ago. That doesn't hold up to precedent. He closed by saying Trump has offered no good faith justification based on what is happening now and what has happened in our community.
Stay with Fox 12 as we wait for a decision from the judge and track the latest developments at the ICE facility. You can always stay up to date anytime, anywhere on the Fox 12 app.